Coach, they getting on in here.
Yeah, that's what we like, Coach. Dang, boy, you ain't got none of that famous
They getting on in here, man.
Hey,
another one of those big shows, Coach.
Yeah, we got the hottest thing in Texas in college football right now. We ain't had no music this time.
Oh, you can't hear? Oh man.
Nope.
That's my fault. Y'all should have told me.
Of the purple and gold. Oh,
we got sound now, don't we?
Yes, sir.
Gold. Better get there.
Welcome to another episode of HBCU Coach's Corner. I'm your co-host, Rocky Miller, along with my other co-host, Mr. Stephen Campbell. We have our featured host, the SWAC legend himself, wearing one night in Mississippi, pouring down rain in a thunderstorm, threw for 6 touchdowns against the vaunted Mississippi Valley Delta Devils and Willie's Satellite Titan. But to no avail, he wasn't able to get the victory, but he was able to throw 6 touchdowns on 5 passes. So you did a great job, Coach, with that. But Coach,
get him, Campbell, get him.
Hey, Coach, how you doing, man? This is a big interview. This is one of your proteges, somebody that somebody you spotted very early in his coaching career as someone with extreme talent. And we got him on today again. I think he's close to being our most our guest that has been on here the most times. I think he's been on here 3 or 4 times. So you may know somebody, Coach. You might got some pull around here in some places.
Well, man, let me tell you something. In this game, you got to have a lot of luck and got to have the man touch you upstairs. And me being able to share my knowledge and work with such a guy, because I knew he had talent, but he's taking it to another level. So it doesn't surprise me none. But he's a friend. He's more than that, a little brother to me, without no doubt, man. I like to welcome right now one of the winningest coaches in college football, bar none the level, Coach Tremaine Jackson.
What's up, fellas?
What's up, Coach?
When Coach Cole calling you, and when it's me, he tell me when I'm gonna be on the show. I don't get asked. Rocky, Mr. Kelvin, he's hey man, Monday night, I'm gonna send you the link. And so, man, anytime Coach called, man, we certainly gonna do that. And I'm a fan of the show, man. I sat here last week and watched it on the patio myself. So thank y'all for having me back, man.
Thank you, Coach.
Man, we're gonna jump right in it, man. You a hot topic around state of Texas and in football, period. Not necessarily about the thing with what happened just this past week with the Texas high school deal, man, but just all the success you've had. And just kind of tell us, what you feeling, man? Did you pinpoint where you'll be at right now? You feeling where you should be at? You made a big thing about coaching at the HBCU level. We all know that you can coach at any level. Are you happy and where you are at your career right now?
Yeah, Coach, man, I'm extremely excited about where we are just in our career and the guys that I got with me. People don't understand how much I really care about my coaches and the players. Like, man, you can say whatever you want about Tremaine Jackson. You can not invite Tremaine Jackson. You can not have me over for dinner. I'm good with that. But my coaches, I got some guys that's been with me since I was at Colorado Mesa. And I done took them dudes to the snow, to South Georgia, and now to Prairie View, Texas. And they just get in the car and go with me. And so I'm extremely excited about where we are. It's a big year for us, not necessarily because of the year we had last year. It's a big year for us because it's a new year, and every year is a big year. And so for us, man, we got a calling. I'm just trying to fulfill this calling on my life, and I think that's why we've had a lot of success and certainly been around great people, been mentored by great people. You know, I can't say enough about you, Coach, and what all you meant to my career and the time we shared together. I went from not knowing how to get a suit tailored to now I got my name all in my suit coat. Every time I get one, I think about Johnny Cole. I said, man, I got my name in my suit. But no, it's been fun. I think we had a really good place at Prairie View A&M. And when I first met with you guys, when I first got the job, I felt like Prairie View A&M is a winner. And Prairie View A&M had won. It just hadn't gotten over the hump of winning another championship. And so we were able to do that. And now we press on with new players, new program, new guys, a couple of new coaches and in different spots. And now we're excited for this season. We report tomorrow. We get to the field on Wednesday. And so I don't know if anybody we got can play, but I'm going to find out real soon. And so we're excited about our guys and our team this year.
Yeah. You know, coming there, you know, in Prairie View, you know, of course, we know was a perennial loser at one point. And, you know, it's now, you know, you're off to what Coach Nix was doing back in the day in the 60s and when Prairie View was an exceptional team, but you got them going in the right direction. Does any of the alumni kind of point in that way with you and urge you on and you know, show the support that you know you guys deserve because you work so hard? I've had opportunity to walk around your office and like you said, you know, everybody is on the same page.
Yeah, you know, I've been really proud of our alumni, especially in the last 7 or 8 months, because like anything, you got to prove yourself to people. You got to show people what they're gonna get. Our alumni base is really strong as far as the amount of graduates that we have. We're right here in the Houston area. Between you're not gonna run into anybody that didn't go to Prairie View A&M or somebody in their family went to Prairie View A&M. I'm at the TSA line, man, and guy just say, Coach, man, my grandma's sister cousin went to Prairie View. Come on through this line, man. We ain't got nothing to talk about here. And I don't even know, like I think I said that before, I don't even know if that's legal. But man, that dude, he knew so much about Prairie View A&M. And so our alumni base just needed to be woken up. And how we act is how our alumni base is. Like I sit and look at social media. I don't have to say too much. Our alumni base gonna handle the message and the messaging, right? And so we knew that coming in. We show that to our players all the time. But Prairie View A&M is a thriving institution. And football in the state of Texas, when you got good football with a thriving institution and a great administration, you have no choice but to go up. And so we're excited about where we go. I think we only operated at about 60% of our program in the last 18 months. We're now about to cross over and get a little bit more. And I don't know if we'll get to 100% of where we want to be, but I know we'll be better than what we used to be as far as how we operate, how we move the program forward. And so we're excited to get to it. It's only one way to find out, and that's to get on that grass and play against somebody else. I think we got a really exciting, challenging schedule, and we can't wait to get to work with these guys.
Yeah, you know, Bishop Campbell, he's biting at the bits to get into those stats. You know, one thing, of course, we have to say, you know, Texas, how big Texas football is, and what has transpired over the last 2 weeks with you and your staff and feeling that you guys was not respected. You know, where you are, have they reached out to you? I know, you know, of course, we've talked behind the scenes, but my thing is have they reached from you from the top? And somebody's got to send an apology letter or something, because there's no way that you're the only team in the state of Texas that played for the national championship and you ain't got one speaker. They ain't even let you speak.
Nobody from their office has contacted me. I have had some people on their board reach out to me. It's really simple with me, Coach. You have a criteria. You have recommend a speaker on your website. I recommended our coaches because I thought the high school coaches needed to hear what these guys do. Our level of coaching and what we have to do and how we have to get the most out of things when we're lesser than in some areas is probably closer to the high school coaches than what a Power 4 institution has. Everybody can coach when everybody's 6'5", 295 and run 4.5. Everybody can coach then. That ain't hard. But I felt like if you're trying to display the very best to your group of people, your high school coaches, then our coaches deserve to be there based off the criteria. Our volleyball coach was there, and she won the conference. She did a really good job, won the regular season. They reached out to our basketball coaches. So they knew how to get in touch with Prairie View A&M. They just chose not to do football. And I don't want anything from those people, Coach. I'm gonna be a paying member because I respect the profession. And a lot of people that's not in our profession, they don't really care about their own jobs, let alone respecting our profession. But, Coach, if they never call Tremaine Jackson to speak again, I'm cool. I don't need to speak at the Texas high school meeting. I spoke at the national meeting in front of everybody. And so I think our coaches deserve that opportunity. And all I wanted them to know was I know. I know your criteria. I know you didn't pick us. And I know why you didn't pick our coaches. And that's fine. And like I told the one guy, don't call me next year to try to pacify us and put us on the deal. We ain't interested. Unless we meet the criteria again. But right now, today, we don't know if we're gonna meet the criteria because the season ain't been played. So don't pacify us and pass over somebody that might meet the criteria. And I think it's really important that people understand I'm not seeking validity from anybody. I'm seeking what's right from everybody. Right. And I don't care who you are, black, white, green, or blue. It wasn't a race thing. It was you didn't fulfill what you said you were doing, your criteria. And since you didn't do that, let me let you know that I know. I could have sent an email. I could have. But that email would have got passed around and nobody would have said anything. And so I knew when I did that video from this very wall, I knew that somebody was going to reach out. And at least now they know that I know. And like I told them once before, Willie Simmons was here. He did a great job. When I got the job here, Willie Simmons said, hey, man, you're one of them, so they'll probably treat you better than they treated us. And I said, man, you know what? I am one of them. And I'm going to tell them I'm one of them. And so I wanted them to know that I know. But, man, we moved on. We report to camp. And like I said, we're looking forward to find out how we're going to finish this fight.
Now, I want to make sure one of them is you're a Texas guy.
I'm a Texas guy. Houstonian. Went to Wall Trip High School. I sleep in Wall Trip shorts every night. I'm through and through. And I'm from Acres Home. I'm not just from Houston. I'm from Acres Home, Texas.
Okay. Hey, Coach, I met you at the Celebration Bowl the day before the game, and then you and your staff was gracious enough to allow us to spend time with you immediately after the Celebration Bowl. Yep. Coach, and I want to say this, if I haven't already told you, I saw one of the most impressive things a leader has ever done in those moments right after the Celebration Bowl while we were waiting to get seated for dinner. All of us were very disappointed of the outcome of the game. And right in the middle of the waiting area, Coach, when everybody was somber and sad, you stood up and said, hey, man, ain't nobody died. What are we doing here? And in that moment, that kind of broke the ice, and it allowed your coaches and their families and us to all begin to almost not celebrate the loss, but celebrate the moment and the achievement. I'll just say this, Coach. What is it about you that always seem to come up with the right words at the right time, especially in that moment? Yeah. How were you able to just find the right words?
As the guy that's got to give the last word in the locker room before you leave, man, when you leave a group of kids that just fought, bled, laid it all out on the line for you, man, you better have something to tell them. You better. When people get up there and say, guys, I just don't have the words, man, you should be fine. Because you get paid to have the words. Regardless of the outcome, you get, and that's a cop out, man. Before every game, I got what I'm gonna say afterwards. When on a win, what I'm gonna say afterwards, the base of what I'm gonna say if we're not successful. That just comes with leadership. And so when I said, "Hey, ain't nobody died," it felt like I was in Carl Bond's funeral home. Man, I don't. If you knew everything we went through from the time that I had that first interview with y'all to that moment, you would have said, "Ain't no way in the world y'all would even got to that point." And so I'm not seeking comfort by just looking for a pat on the head for getting there, because we want to win. But I wasn't going to sit there somber like we ain't going to get another shot. Man, we're going to get another shot at this thing. And people that act like it's over, they probably know they don't have a plan to get back. Man, we went to bed that night, woke up, came up with finish the fight, and went to work to finish the fight. That's just what it is to me. And Rocky, I had some experience too, because a year prior, I had to say the same thing. And I told a group of guys, "Hey man, if you go with me to this next spot, we're going to be back here again. And so one of these times, we're going to win that game." And I don't know, because when you start looking at successful people, man, they failed in major moments more than they succeeded. People don't talk about Kirk Signetti losing at James Madison to North Dakota State. Kirk Signetti, when he was the head coach of James Madison, he lost the FCS National Championship. People don't talk about that. And we, as a people, we don't even know that. We don't even know that to talk about it, because we don't know anything or very much at all about FCS football. So because I knew we had a plan to come back and to be able to finish the fight, because I know my staff is going to fight their tail off and work hard to get back, and I knew we were going to recruit a bunch of guys that knew what the plan was, I was confident that we'll be back. Just know we stand on the other side of the hotel. We kind of know what to do. There were some mistakes that I made. There were some mistakes that I made that now I get a chance to fix and correct. So when we get back to that moment, we finish the deal.
Go ahead, Campbell. He's all yours, brother.
Now, Coach, let me tell you something. I watch you on social media.
Yeah.
I see sometimes you got to check folks, Coach. Sometimes you got to check folks. So you know me, I'm the king checker. So I'm gonna be petty like you are, Coach. So you know what the first question I'm gonna start off with?
What's that?
Let's talk about these high school recruits, though. How about that?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that, Coach.
Yeah.
Because I heard that you didn't recruit high school players, but I heard that you had a high school player that was an early enrollee that showed out at that spring game. Now that's what I heard, Coach.
Timmy Timmerman.
Yeah, let's talk about these high school players starting off.
Well, let me say this, Mr. Campbell. There was a person that I normally don't comment back, right? But the other day I had to say something, because the person that made the comment, they had just retweeted an offer to a high school kid that we had made. And so for you to say we don't take high school kids, and you just congratulated a class of 28 or 29 kid that we had offered, that was kind of dumb to me. And the one thing, now that I'm 42, I call things what they are. They dumb. That was dumb. And I didn't understand that. But let me get this correct. We recruit high school kids. We don't recruit the high school kids you think we ought to recruit. We don't recruit the ones where your uncle could just send you to Prairie View because they ain't got no scholarships. And if you can't play nowhere else, you can go on down to Prairie View. Do you know how many people we've had to correct on how to say our name? It's Prairie View A&M. But people call us Prairie View. Oh, yeah. You down there at Prairie View? I don't know what that is. So, no, I'm not down there. So when those people start talking, then I just can't take them serious. And it's really good comedy. You talked about Timmy Timmerman. Timmy Timmerman is a Houston high school tight end that came at mid-year. And he came to our camp. And we signed him. And he's a white kid, by the way. Because I know that's a thing, too.
Wait a minute. Caucasian?
Yeah, he's a Caucasian.
At Prairie View?
At Prairie View. A
Okay.
Caucasian young man with a great family that had great grades, and his family danced more to the band than anybody you've ever seen. And they love being at Prairie View because they love our program and they love the education that their son is getting. So we do recruit high school kids. I said we don't recruit a bunch of 18-year-olds. And so it baffles me that people with college educations can't decipher words, a bunch or none. I said we'll recruit a bunch. We're going to recruit 8 to 12 high school kids in this class. But I cannot keep my job with a bunch of 18-year-olds. The day of recruiting, Coach Cole remembers I used to bring Coach Cole kids and say, man, I got this kid from Westfield High School. He a receiver. Coach, he got offers from so-and-so and so-and-so. We got to take it. He said, Coach, now how many of them you going to bring now? How many of them? Because program is built over time. But we got to win right now.
That's right.
We got to win right now. And so I always ask high school coaches, because they give me a hard time too, Mr. Campbell. If you had an opportunity to play with 65 eighth graders from FM Black Middle School that just came to your program, or you had a chance to get 4 or 5-star transfers on your team, who you going to take? And then we forget that transfers at one time were high school kids. So once they leave high school, they're no longer high school kids. Man, we don't subscribe to that. We don't subscribe to that. We recruit, and really, Mr. Campbell, we recruit who we want to recruit that can help us win. And 8 to 12 of them are going to be high school players, and the rest of them are going to be 21 and up, Cabo-ready, grown men. That's what we do. And because those are the guys that Cam Peters wasn't no high school kid. Cam Peters was a transfer. But Chase Bingham was a high school kid. Eric Zachary was a high school kid. So we have our fair share, and we do a good job. Our coaches do a good job of mixing them up. But that's probably the last time I'm going to say anything about that. I'm just going to let college-educated people that can't decipher words, I'm just going to let them keep talking. But here's what we know, Mr. Campbell, you're going to like this. When have people ever been talking about Prairie View A&M in January, February, March, April, May, June, July, before the season? They ain't never been talking about us. So if whatever we say make you talk about us and make our algorithm go up, I'm all for it.
Well, Coach, I'm just saying, we just had to put that out there because, like, again, shout out to my crack staff. So, Coach, I did research today because I wanted to make sure this show people can learn a couple of things. So, shout out to my crack staff down at Prairie View. That gave me some good information. So, Coach, this is one of the things they told me to make sure to talk about. The strength of your team. So, you got a bunch of your offensive linemen coming back, 4 out of 5 starters, 7 to 8 guys. Let's talk about those guys and what are you expecting for them to do this year?
Man, every year, every coach in America is trying to figure out where they're going to be at on the O&D line. Every year. It starts there. Find me a coach that said don't start in the trench. I find you a losing coach. Like, it starts at that point. And so offensive line is a developmental position. You always hear about how long those guys have been together. Can they gel together? And so it's really exciting for us to look up and say, man, we got every single starter besides one that was in our rotation back all year, right back this year in 26 to play another 14 games. Because at Prairie View A&M, Mr. Campbell, we play 14 games. And I ain't got to tell everybody what them 14 is. Everybody know what that is, right? So we got another set, the same set of guys to play 14 games. Well, that's big. Ty Brown came with us from Valdosta. Pedro Da Silva was here when we got here. Caden Bowers was a rotational lineman, ended up starting for us in the Celebration Bowl, but didn't start the season for us. So we count him as the 5th starter now. Calvin McMillan is back. Chris Carter is back. We added a couple of guys, a transfer from U of H, Caden Bowie, and then a transfer tackle guard from University of Troy, Vicen Lane. They've got college experience. So we're really excited about where we are up front. Now, just because you were don't mean you will be. So just because they could block last year, that has no bearing on this year, right? And so we got to make sure that those guys continue to play hard, continue to melt together. But we're really excited about them. And when you got an O-line, you feel good about being able to keep your quarterback upright and being able to create some run lanes for the running backs.
So, Coach, one of the things that, we kind of looked at, and you talked about the high school recruits again. I heard Kevin Brown had a great spring game. You talked about your offensive line. But, Coach, what are the things that you kind of looked at that you felt that going in with your recruiting, like I say, some of these grown men that you wanted to improve on going into next year? Because one of the things some of my Prairie View folks told me about is that you thought, and maybe the coach even thought about, the offense started kind of slow last year and red zone offense. What are you doing to kind of look to some of those things that you want to improve on?
Yeah, we started slow because of us as coaches, right? Like, that ain't no secret. I walked in the staff meeting and said, hey, man, I asked our players, what do y'all want to do? Because if you remember our season, it wasn't until homecoming that we scored 30 points in a game. We were moving the ball, but we weren't finishing. The Texas Southern game, we're in the red zone 4 times and came away with no points because of penalties, holding, false starts. We ended up marching ourselves out of the red zone. And so our players came to me. They told me what they liked and what they wanted to do. Our offensive staff swallowed their egos, which is big in coaching, swallowed their pride, and made it happen. And then we took off, right? And so I think now we know who we are. We know who our players, what they can do. And so I'm looking forward to us to start faster simply because we've got our identity mapped out on where we want to be.
Can I break in there for a minute, Campbell?
No, go ahead. Yeah, because
go ahead. You added a new offensive line coach too that also won a championship with me, and can you talk about him?
Manny Martinez, Manuel is what I call him, mi hermano. Obviously, Coach, you know him from me and Manny were your line coaches on both sides of the ball. And man, we used to have some one-on-one pass rush wars. Manny was coaching them up on the O-line. We had a pretty good set of D linemen. Man, one-on-ones would stop practice because Marquise Jackson and Big Charles would be going at it in a one-on-one pass rush. I also watched Manny Martinez take a center that nobody thought would play for us, and him ended up architecting one of the best O-lines at that place, right? And so I've tried to hire Manny a couple of times. Manny, like me now, he true Texan through and through from Pasadena, Texas. Been in here his whole career, went to Howard a couple of years back. But family reasons, he had kids in high school. He wanted to make sure his kids got out of school. And so it never worked. Well, when this opportunity came open, my O-line coach, Bryce, he called me. I was at a convention. He said, Coach, I think I got this opportunity. I got off the phone with Bryce, hung up, called Manny Martinez, said, mi hermano, we up. He said, let me know when I need to be there. That's how that happened. And I had already talked to Coach Buckner about if we ever have an offensive line position, here's where I'm going to go. So I'm just going to send you a number. I want you to talk to him. You'll thank me later. And that has been a really big deal for us because Manny was already familiar with the conference. He was familiar with the FCS. He coached at high-level division. He's coming from high-level Division II at Kingsville, where he played against some folks now. And so for us to get Manny Martinez was huge. It was an easy, smooth transition. And I just think we got better. And there's no disrespect to anybody we lost, but you always want to get better. And so I think we got better there. And really, he's the only full-time coach that we lost. He's the only full-time coach that we're replacing. And when you can go 1 for 1+, man, that's a good deal. And so I'm looking forward to how he coaches those guys. We're going to do some things that I think he brought to the table that's going to help us in the long run. And we're excited to get going with him.
Yeah. Man, he's great. He's a great one. He's a great one. Go ahead, Campbell. I just want to sneak Manny in there.
Rocky, you okay? I know you. Go ahead. Go ahead, Rocky. I'll circle back. Go ahead.
No, what I wanted to say, Coach, is that you're one of those coaches, much like Coach Prime. You saw the area of opportunity that the transfer portal offered immediately. You didn't look at it as a negative. You weren't complaining about it. You just saw, okay, this is an opportunity for me to improve my team. So you brought in 70 the first year. You brought in probably another 60, 70 this year. Coach, is it sustainable for a championship program like yourself to bring in that many players each and every year? Is that model sustainable?
It's going to have to be. It's not whether it is or whether it ain't. We're gonna have to make it sustainable, because here's the harsh reality, Rocky. There's a lot of grown parents with Prairie View A&M t-shirts on, and they love Prairie View. Their kids don't wear those shirts when they're going through the recruiting process. So they don't love us at first. They love us on the back end, which is okay. There's a lot of guys who done got married to the second choice. They were somebody's second choice, right? So I get it. That don't mean it can't work. Just because you say you finished second, nobody knows if you were second but her or him. Yeah. And so it's one of those deals where we have to make it sustainable. But Rocky and Coach Cole will tell you this ain't new. This has been happening for a really long time. When I was with Coach, I thought I was the portal. Man, Facebook was just coming out. We was getting kids' numbers on Facebook. You used to have to get a fax saying permission to speak through a fax machine. I would literally stand at the fax machine. Like, hey, man, this kid from Oklahoma State is coming through. I'm telling you right now, it's coming through. This ain't new. It's just public now. And so when things go public to ignorant people, and I mean ignorant by not in our profession, then they make it a big deal. We've been doing this. This has been my whole career. I'm going into camp 23 tomorrow. My whole career we've been doing that, because I've been in small college, and in small college, you always get an above player to come down, and the chances are he should play well on your level. That ain't always the case. There's some people that play at big whatever that can't play here. They can't touch that rock around here, because things get really competitive when you get all those guys in the room. Because from a player standpoint, they go, certainly I can't go to the FCS and not get no run. They're going to kill me on that one. So now people step up. But this ain't new. And people got to stop acting like this is new.
Yeah. Let me piggyback off that too, man. I kind of called on to it when I had opportunity to work for University of Cincinnati. And like you said, this been going on. But and to be honest, it went more on into the PWI-FCS schools than the HBCU schools. They started like early 90s, mid 90s, and you was wondering why they were kicking our butt, but we were sending more kick players to the pros. They had strings. They were buddies. They would send each other players from Oklahoma, Nebraska. They were getting them players. So when me and LC got together at Tennessee State, that's where we started at. And that was back in 1996. Shoot, we probably had 25, 30 transfers back in them days. You know what I mean? So it ain't a new thing. Now, as Coach always say, I can't win with no 18-year-olds. And now, you know, it's like microwave. You can win one season, lose the next. You looking for a job. So to stay consistent, and me and Coach, you know, it's more than just getting transfers. You know, I ain't gonna give away the ingredient, the last ingredient to it. But yeah, it's been going on a long time. We're just really catching on to it, and like Coach said, it's more popular now than it was.
There's one more thing I want to ask Coach, because I think there's something about Coach being in Texas that makes him very unique. Off the top of my head, Coach, I can't think of another Division I black coach. There may be, but I'm not aware of him in the state of Texas. Coach,
me and Chris Dishman.
Huh? Oh,
yeah,
you and Coach Dishman. My point in bringing that, Coach, is there are a lot of guys in this state in the high school that's never played for a black man as a head coach. Yeah. And even to this day, though, I love my high school coach and the coaches I played for in college, but if I could do it all over again, I really would like to play for a black man and see what that felt like. Do you see that as some type of advantage as a recruiter when you offer young men an opportunity to play for somebody that looks like them?
Yeah, Rocky, you know, man, that's a really good question, because it's twofold. One, yes, we do use it as an advantage, because I tell kids all the time, I'm the only one in this staff, but as a head coach, I'm the only one that you're talking to that's going to be able to tell you what life is like for you post football. It's all shiny. And I'm not saying, man, I had some great Caucasian coaches, Hispanic coaches, all that. But at the end of the day, man, it takes a black man to tell you how to be a black man in this society, to give you the inside of being a black man. Everybody wants to, it's all equal until it ain't equal, right? And so when we're talking and we're recruiting and we talking to mama, I go, hey, listen, you can send him wherever. But now you're going to call me and start asking me for a job. You're going to call me and ask me for some advice, because we try to do a good job with relationships and recruiting, as everybody should. But if you really want them to know how to maneuver in this society, being educated, being a former football player, because the former is going to happen at some time, then there is no place you can talk to against who we're recruiting against that can teach him that better than us. Flip side, sometimes, man, it's a battle, because sometimes we're dealing with guys that have not had a male authority in their life, and they haven't had a black male authority in their life. And so we have to kind of work ourselves into, and people don't think this is crazy. Some of these guys get conditioned to where they do what that man tell them to do like that. But because they haven't seen us in the house, because auntie, mama, or whatever said that man did your mama so bad, then it's a natural friction that happens when you go to do something authoritative. Hey, man, take your hat off. Tell me to take my hat off. Man, if you don't take your, like, it goes there. And so we always talk about this program that we have, where we wear this shirt, this is confrontational, because it's our job to protect you from you. And some of our young brothers don't know that they need protecting from themselves, because they just don't have the knowledge of having somebody that looks like you and I as an authoritative figure in their life, right? And so we got to make sure that we understand the situation. It's very important for us that we get mama in the fold, or auntie, or whoever the female champion is in the recruiting process. It's very important that we get them in the fold so we can understand what makes that dude tick and what he's been through, so we know how to start coaching him. I had to learn that. That was something that I didn't understand. I was like, man, if I could have played for a black head coach, I would have jumped up. What? That ain't always the case. We've lost guys because they don't feel comfortable with this black coach telling them what to do. And that's the craziest thing I've heard. I had a kid sit in front of me and tell me, I'm just not used to it. I just can't do it.
Man.
And so, fine. I'm not Sammy Sosa. I can't change my skin color. Like, it is what it is. And that's why we always say, man, we're not for everybody. Some guys need to go to the other school so that they can get the career that they want, because they'll spend so much time worried about this brother telling them what to do until they won't be worried about the X's and O's. But more likely than not, it is a bonus. And we have played that card, used that. It's not a card, it's just the truth, though.
Coach, let me ask you this question. One of the most important, again, positions on the field is quarterback. Mm-hmm. You got a couple of guys coming back. You got Tevin Carter coming back, Tyler Nelson, but you brought in a couple of guys, Brown and Clay Smith. Talk about that quarterback room and talk about how much you're going to miss and I told everybody, Coach, right here on the HBCU Coach's Corner, I said, Cam Peters, he played like a SWAC All-American. They're going to win that game. Guess what he did? He won that game.
Played out of his mind.
I said that. I told him right here on this show. So, Coach, what are you looking for? You got a guy coming back, Carter, who played. You got these other guys. What are you looking at for your quarterback room?
I'm looking for a guy that's not going to turn the ball over and the guy that's going to win over the football team. The team is going to tell us who the quarterback is. What I wanted to do, I wanted our staff to give our team some options to pick from of guys with great experience. And so when you look at our quarterback room, everybody in our quarterback room has started games in college football. Well, I don't know if a lot of people can say that. I tell our quarterbacks all the time because I meet with them. And I meet with them early in the week. I don't coach scheme. I simply say, hey, man, it's two people going to every press conference after every game. Me and the quarterback. And I ain't going with nobody soft. And I ain't going with nobody that I don't know what they made of. So you better tighten up, be ready to take whatever criticisms or compliments. Because what happened with Cam Peters, and he don't mind me sharing this because we've been through it. Cam Peters struggled with the compliments. And here we teach him to treat compliments and criticisms the same. And keep your head down, and you're not going to know what you are until the end. And so Cam Peters goes out and win the first game. He started tripping in the second game. Well, Tevin Carter sitting over here, he had a good camp too. And so sometimes you have to prove to people that water is wet, right? Water, hey man, water wet now. And grits is groceries, right? That's what our running back coach say all the time. Grits is groceries. So we're going to sit you down till you can get yourself together. Tevin Carter comes in, he beats Grambling. He brings us back against UTRGV. He's playing well. Cam Peters get back in against Alcorn State. We win the game. Cam Peters never looked back. He throws 4 picks against Alabama State. I didn't change it. And you know what? And coach, you know this as a quarterback. You throw pick number 1, you go, okay. Pick number 2, Joker start looking over the shoulder. Pick number 3, that Joker walked all the way around me. Pick number 4, I said, hey, man, we are at a point in the season in November where we're going to ride or die with this kid. And so we made a decision. But once we didn't take him out the game, Cam Peters, he sat back in the chair. He made a mistake. He fixed it. And I told him, you're going to be one of the best quarterbacks to ever play at Prairie View A&M as long as you win a championship. You win the Celebration Bowl, Coach Nick's got a head bust outside of the stadium. They're going to slide Coach Nick's to the side. They ain't going to move him. They're going to slide him to the side, and they're going to have your whole statue sitting right there. And he took ownership in that. Well, I've said the same thing to Tevin Carter. I've said the same thing to Preston Brown, Caden Smith, Tyler Nelson. I said it all. Like, you got to tell me. But the team, people wants to know who the quarterback going to be. The team going to tell us. We make quarterbacks live in fall camp now. You know, I'm a defensive guy. I'm crazy as all get out. We hit quarterback. It ain't going to be week 1 before I find out how you get hit. That's not it.
You know, Coach, I got to ask you this about quarterback, because quarterback has become such a parochial prima donna position to the point it's almost like the quarterback runs the team, or they determine what happens to them on the team rather than the coach being dictated. How do you find quarterbacks that are willing to accept the kind of criticism and be coached the way that it seems that you choose to coach your quarterbacks?
I tell them in recruiting, hey man, at practice, I stand right behind you. And I don't give a dang what Coach Buckner says. If I don't like something, I'm gonna yell at you. I'm gonna jump 2 feet in you. And if you're not able to handle that, just let me know right now, and you can go on to whatever other university you was going to visit. Like we try to be very honest with them because they do hold so much control, right? And so when you start lying to kids in general, especially quarterbacks, man, you ain't got a chance. They'll split your team. They will split your team down the middle because they won't buy into what you're saying because you lied to them, right? And so we just try to be very honest with them. I ask them, hey man, are you a dog? And if everybody go, yeah, coach, I'm a dog. Well, what kind of dog are you? Because if you the little Christmas chihuahua that they hold up on the picture, I'm not interested in that. I want the dog in the cage that's walking around like he crazy, and you don't really know if you should feed him because he might bite you. That's the dog I want, right? And so those guys have that mentality, man, and it's been really fun because we're going into our 7th year as a head coach and my 6th quarterback race. So only one time in my career have we returned the starter from the year before, right? And so I always tell our staff, if we're doing this the right way, we should always be rotating quarterbacks and kickers because that means we got high levels of competition. kids fold shop when they know they're not the guy at quarterback. A lot of them, daddy make them fold shop when they find out they're not the guy, and they leave. And so I'm okay with whatever happens. But our goal is just to be extremely honest with them at all times.
This is just my comment, and I'll say this, Coach. I think the toughness that you coach with at the quarterback this position in practice and in camp, whether they understand it or not, it benefits them when things get tough on the field. So, Coach, it's really refreshing to hear that.
Appreciate you.
Coach, let me tell you one of the things that we saw it in the Celebration Bowl, and one of the things that we kind of saw all year, and this is kind of what people point out to me, your special teams. How are you looking, and was there a renewed focus? You talk about kickoff coverage, kick return, of course, field goal kicking. What are you looking like on your special teams, and what kind of emphasis you put on that?
We spent some money there, Mr. Kim.
Talk to us, Coach.
We spent some money there. That's one of the mistakes that I made, right? Because we got here, we had some kickers, but they weren't as consistent over time. We went out and recruited some, but we also walked on a couple of kids, because you can get a really good crop of walk-on kids in this area. And so we let them fight it out. But sometimes the lights was a little too bright for some of the younger guys. So people talk about freshmen, right? Our kicker was a true freshman. And so it's some things that they need experience on before they can make that kick or make those kicks. So we did some things in the kicking game to try to help us alleviate some pressure and to try to hide some deficiencies. We went out and we spent some money. We spent scholarship money. We normally didn't scholarship kickers.
Wow. Okay.
We tried to, when we were on the 63 scholarships, man, you don't want to spend 5 scholarships on specialists.
Right.
Right. You want to do some different things there. And so this time around, man, we bit the bullet and we spent some money on kickers, and we're looking forward to that paying off. We got an Australian punter. That's my first international kid. But he was a transfer from a Division II school, did a really good job. So we're looking forward to him kicking. We went and signed the kid that we had at Valdosta, Ethan Edens, got a really big leg. At the time when we left Valdosta, he didn't want to leave. He wanted to stay there. He's from Jacksonville. And so he decided to get in the portal, and so we went and got him. The other thing we've done is we hired Coach Reed Brass. Coach Reed Brass was my long snapper at Valdosta, played his senior season at Tarleton State. Reed Brass is a specialist guy. When he was with me at Valdosta, he coached the specialist as a specialist. And so he did a really good job doing that. So he's here to help Coach Hadley on the special team. And so we increased some staff. We increased funding at that area. So we've addressed the needs. But at the end of the day, you got to make the kick. You got to place the ball where the coach tell you to place the ball. Like, it's still about execution, right? So we have addressed it. Somebody asked who the kicker going to be. Whoever make the kicks. It's really just that simple. Whoever make the kicks, man. But I think Aiden Webb, being a returning kicker, he was a redshirt freshman last year, having some experience, he made some big kicks for us early on in the year. And then just by the stretch, man, it just wasn't working out. So it's definitely a competition. We're going to get in fall camp. We start out practice with special teams, man, because it's that special to us. But certainly we've addressed that area, and we're looking forward to it coming to fruition.
Wow. Well, Coach, one of the things, and I appreciate it, because once again, this is HBCU Coach's Corner. Coach, you do a lot of interviews, and what I have found out, you have a lot of people that talk about your team that never even talk to you, but they got a lot to say. So one of the things I wanted to make sure, and I told Coach Cole and Rocky this is the Coach's Corner. We need to talk to the coach to talk about coaching and the team, because that's what happens with a lot of these missed calls. So I appreciate it, because a lot of your fans, and people that are interested in your program, they want to hear exactly what you're saying. So that's one of those things. I don't like to have these glossy, hey, Coach, how's everything going on down there? Stuff like that. Let's talk about what's actually going on. Now, Coach, you see I got the quote back here. I don't know if you see it. You know about your schedule and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What you talked about. So, Coach, I want to get into that, because what was told to me, that you said you had 2 schedules, Coach.
We do.
You have the SWAC schedule, which is the Celebration Bowl schedule.
Yeah.
And then you have the out-of-conference schedule, which is the respect schedule.
Yeah.
Now, Coach, talk to us about those two schedules and how they work together to what your number one goal is.
Yeah. Mr. Campbell, you know this because you're a FAMU guy. Coach Hubbard took a team. A guy named Herb Reinhardt was on that 70s national championship team. Herb Reinhardt was my AD at Valdosta State. He was the kicker for that championship team. And so I learned the history about that team, right? And I learned the history about what they were coached. And they were coached to be the best in the world. Like, whoever they put in front of us, this is who we're going to beat. And so when I got here, I said, man, Prairie View A&M is elite in a lot of ways. And if our football program becomes an elite premier FCS program, then there's no stopping our institution. Well, the only way to be elite in college football is to play and beat people that are considered elite. Regardless, it's kind of like it's nothing wrong with Blockbuster, but we got Netflix now, right? And Netflix is just a little bit more respected. If you told one of our kids go to Blockbuster and get you a video, they wouldn't even know what you're talking about, right? We have to teach our kids that history. We have to get them up to grab, right? There's nothing wrong with our SWAC schedule. We respect it. It's a national schedule. We plan on being in the Celebration Bowl, playing against the MEAC champion. But, man, there's another side to this deal that not only makes us the SWAC champion, Celebration Bowl champion, but it makes us elite in the FCS. And that's important to me. And so we went out and we scheduled in that manner. We opened up with Tarleton State, number 4 or 5 in the country, depending upon what poll you're looking at. We play the Texas Southern game was the Western Conference Championship game a year ago. Whether we can slice it however we want to, when I walked out the field, I said, man, we just played the Western Division Championship game and don't even know it. And then we go to Baylor. We play Baylor, they Power 4. I don't know when the last time a HBCU has beaten a Power 4 team or if it's ever happened, right? I don't know. I don't have that history. I asked Chat. Chat wasn't sure, right? So I asked Claude. He didn't know. And so, but then we play Stephen F. Austin. So not only do we play our rival in a Western Division game, which is always tough, but, man, we play 2 top 10 FCS teams. And by the way, at the end of the year, close to Halloween, we play East Texas A&M, who is in our system, FCS, and they were a really good Division II program that's finding their way, so you never know what they're going to be at that time. Well, I feel like that makes us battle-tested. That puts us up against both sides of the very best, right? Alabama State is playing really good ball. They got all the accolades. They got everything you in the catbird seat, as my grandma say, right? And so, man, we got to go down there and play a really tough Alabama State team when that time comes. But the things we do leading up to those games should help us in those moments. We didn't have that situation last year. We didn't have a schedule like this last year. And so we want to be respected on both sides of the tracks. We want to be elite on both sides of the tracks. And so when I said that, I meant that. Like, man, we're not going to play Mayville Southern Tech. That's not what we're going to do. We're going to play reputable people in the FCS, just like we play reputable people in our conference and in the MEAC.
Coach, let me ask you this. How much has coaching at Sioux Falls, Colorado Mesa, and Valdosta State shaped that particular part of your scheduling style or your attitude toward football?
It's done a lot, man. It's done a lot because I remember I called Coach Cole one day. I had just got to Sioux Falls or something like that. And those guys in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, they didn't know where Texas Southern was. They had no clue because when you coach in the Dakotas, all you thinking about is how you going to run power in the snow. That's all you thinking about. But we recognize when you're from Texas Southern, we recognize who those schools are, right? Like we know who those places are. And so I did a lot of talking about the SWAC. When I was at Colorado Mesa and Valdosta, on Thursdays, I would pick a black college band on YouTube and I would play it throughout the building. I'd take it to practice and I'd play a black college band. And they'd be like, what are you doing? I'm like, y'all don't know. Our band ain't going to give us this. So let me give you some of what the other side is, right? And so we were teaching that everybody that there's another side of the whole world in life and in football. If I told you, Rocky, come with me to Sioux Falls and let's go get in the combine, right? You would think I'm talking about the NFL combine because down here in Texas, the only combine that we talking about, it is an NFL combine. A combine in Sioux Falls, South Dakota is a John Deere tractor. Folks don't know that. They don't know that. And so unless you've been around the block and seen it, then you really have no comparison. So when I was up there, I said, man, if we can combine both of these things, if we can combine Midwest football, because if you notice, the national champ in other football has come from the Midwest a lot of the times. It's come from up there. And it's because it's a different mentality with running the football and spread offenses and things of that nature. So I wanted to make sure that we played not black college football, not Midwest football, but we put together a program that played football. And this is the way we ball at Prairie View A&M. And so those times, those talks, those because when it started snowing on the ground in Sioux Falls, Rocky, I made them come get me. I'm not driving this Texas edition truck I had in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, right? Those conversations that we had, man, it really shaped and molded a lot of this mentality that you see today.
Yeah, that makes sense. I just think a lot of times when you talk about one of the things that I often try to understand is HBCUs are a tremendous product, but it's a very insular product, meaning that the only thing that matters is what happens amongst the schools that play, in HBCU conferences and HBCU schedules. And I think to be respected from a football standpoint, you got to be able to do something outside of that realm. And I think it's important that, in my opinion, that all the schools, especially schools that strive to be elite, that they go out there and earn their respect outside of HBCU football.
Absolutely. It's only 18 of us vying for the Celebration Bowl. It's only 18 of us. It's less than 20 schools vying for the Celebration Bowl. In the SWAC, I think we have the toughest way there, right? Because you got to be the best of the 12. And then you got to go play the MEAC champion, right? Which they might play 5 games, but they 5 tough-looking games because I watched them when they play on Friday night. They play a great brand of ball in the MEAC. And if you look at the MEAC, they play others outside of the MEAC the first 5-6 weeks of the season. I think that gets them ready for the MEAC schedule. And so for me, man, when I was on those committees, nobody talked about the 18. I was the only one in there talking about the 18. And I wasn't even at one of the 18. But nobody talked about it. So when I got one of the 18, I said, oh, no. You going to respect these 18 because I already know what you think based off what you told me in these meetings before when I wasn't at one of the 18, right? And so just because it's 18 of us, that don't mean we can't beat you. And so we've taken a different mentality about it. I love being at HBCU. I just don't think we should play HBCU football. I think we should play college football.
Yeah, one of the things that we kind of behind on, and if you look over 50 years of football, is back in the 60s and 70s, we couldn't play them. You know what I mean? They wouldn't give us games. So most of our coaches and the culture from black coaches are coming from high school. And in high school, it ain't a lot of, and I don't want to use the wrong word, but a lot of professionalism, and a lot of skill and a lot of know-how. And now we're here where we are now, and it's still not, how of learning how to run a high-class program because you still don't have that many black coaches. You still don't have many. It's better that black coaches actually go to the PWI schools, the more professionalism. But even I say this as well, you get an NFL player. All those NFL players are not what is the word I'm looking for? They don't care about none but their position. They don't care about the equipment room, how the NFL team draft. They don't, but there's a few that does. Where mostly the PWI coaches, they either coming from a family of line of people, you know what I mean? They can jump from high school to a professional NFL team where we can't do that. We can't do that. So a guy like Jack is few. Chennis Berry, I spent time with him with Chicago Bears. He's one of those guys. Eddie Robinson is one of those guys that know how to, and you could tell. My guy down at Edward Waters, he's one of those. Jenkins, he's one of those guys. So it ain't a lot of us that knows the ramifications of actually running a professional football program. And that's where we lack. It's always the number one question. Why can black schools beat white schools? Because sometimes they outcoach us. Sometimes they have more support than we have. And it's happening, but we're getting there. You got your Trey Olivers, and that's one good thing about the MEAC with having those extra games. They get to play the PWI schools. You know what I'm saying? And we don't. So that's kind of where that is. And Jack he's 10 years in front of a whole bunch of coaches, man. Chennis Berry is 10 years in front of a whole bunch of coaches. Trey Oliver, and some of these great guys. So I just want to add that, piggyback on what Coach was saying.
Hey, Coach, you sat down and had an amazing conversation with Kyle T. Mosley the other day, and you said some things that I thought would have got more traction in the space, but maybe not enough people heard it. So those people who didn't get a chance to hear it, I definitely recommend you go out and see the interview that Coach had with Kyle. But what you said, Coach, is basically, I'm going to paraphrase you here, and you can expound however you want to, is that you said essentially the school should invest the way that the results they want. They should put their resources behind the results that they want.
Yeah.
And not treat it like a football or anything else, like a second class or a second rate program. Can you talk about what you meant when you were talking about that? Because I thought it made a lot of sense when you talked about the school shouldn't expect coaches to do more with less anymore. We should be past that.
So the we do a lot with a little theory should be dead and gone. We should start doing a lot with a lot. You cannot put a high expectation, administrator, fan, alum, whatever. You cannot put a high expectation on something you have no investment in. That's just not even, what are you talking about? That's like saying I want to get a paycheck on the first, but I ain't went to work all month. That doesn't happen anywhere. And so what we've done with guys like Coach Cole, LC, what they did was they spoiled us. They spoiled the black community. They spoiled HBCU football because they gave you something exciting without a lot to work with. That's not right. That ain't right. And listen, nobody can sit here and tell me that's right. And so what I said was, a guy walked up to us and said, man, you're going to go out there and get your players broke up playing against them schools. Do we not have a weight room? Do we not have weights? Do I not have a strength coach? And so why should our players be broken up? Because you're saying that because you see the glitz and the glamour over at whatever school you're talking about. Well, why not just invest and give us the glitz and the glamour and see what we can do? Why not do that? And what a lot of people want is they want to be able to ride winning with no investment. That day is dead. And I'm going to die on that hill. You're not going to win if you consistently. Now, people catch lightning in a bottle. the Lord bless. Like I understand those things, but man, you're not gonna consistently win, and you're not invested. That's not a black college issue, though, Rock. That's a small college issue, and everything below the Power Four is small college. The same issues I dealt with at Valdosta State were the same issues that I had to address here when we got here. Same issues, and a lot of it was just not knowing. Thankfully, I got an AD and a president that want to be better. And so it wasn't a fight to buy breakfast. It wasn't a fight to get the lineman 2 sandwiches instead of 1. That was a fight at Valdosta State. Can we not lead to 3 so we ain't got to buy them breakfast? Man, I ain't come here so over $300 worth of biscuit sandwich. I ain't like, come on, man. And so, but here's the comparison. At the last place I was at, it don't matter what they gave you. If you ain't play for the national championship, you suck and we're going to fire you. We have that expectation here, can do more, and we weren't doing more. Well, now Prairie View A&M is starting to invest on a level. I think all our schools should do that. You shouldn't have no coach. You want to fire the coach, but he only got 17 scholarships. You should keep that coach for a long time because he crazy as all get out for staying there with 17 scholarships. People told me this when I got to Prairie View. Man, you lucky you got the stadium. Well, I'm not lucky. I just wouldn't have came if you didn't have a stadium. Like, I ain't lucky. If you ain't got a stadium, I ain't coming. How about that? And so I'm not going to risk, if you go, Rocky, to the NCAA website and you click on stats and you click on Prairie View A&M, my name shows up in the top right corner. It has my name, where I went to school, and what our overall record is, right? Ain't no fan name on that. And so this is my chosen career, and I'm on the hook every time I walk out there, whether we win, lose, or draw. So if I say, hey, man, we're going to play this school, everybody should just be on board because it don't cost nobody but me. And I believe in Prairie View A&M that much to where I'm willing to put my career on the line to go play football games to prove that we belong. Like that's where I'm at with it. And I'm willing to risk that because we got a plan, I got the right staff, and we have people that are investing. And so let's not say, oh, black folks, we do a lot with a little. Stop. Because you don't drive your Pinto to work every day. You don't put a little bit of gas in there and expect to go 70 miles. So let's not do that with football. Let's in athletics in general. Now, here's my disclaimer. Football is the king of the athletic jungle. And there's nothing wrong with the giraffes. The elephants are great. And the turtles belong. But the lion is the king of the jungle. Yeah. And if football's taken care of, everybody else get to eat. It's kind of like when you got older siblings. If they got shirts, eventually you're going to get it. You might have to wait in line a little bit. You're going to get it. But it's going to be new for you. You might not get it fresh out the press. So we got to understand that as a people and stop putting things to do a lot with a little. Because when we all go to our jobs, we want the highest salary we can get before we even perform the job. That's not doing a lot with a little. And so we got to get out of that mindset, man. And it's a mindset that we've been taught that we use when we want to. And we use it in athletics a lot. And we got to come on with it, man. Either come on with it or don't play no more.
Yeah. And this is why I say about Prairie View is a unique situation in this. I don't count nobody's pockets, but I got lots of friends that graduated from Prairie View, and my daughter recently graduated. Of all my friends that went to Prairie View, just coincidentally, they got the biggest houses, the best cars. I don't know what they making. I don't know what they doing with their money or nothing. But they doing real well, and they all graduates of Prairie View. And so there's no reason why Prairie View should be lacking in anything because their alumni isn't. That's just from
Rob,
my Prairie View.
We got Prairie View alums living in Siena, right? You know what Siena used to be in Houston? Siena Plantation. That's what that was. We got us now building big houses and having pool parties on a plantation. So I'm not hearing do a lot with a little because we live on a plantation, don't want nobody to know that, so we just call it Sienna now. But it's Sienna Plantation that we live on now. And so since we can do that, then we can make these athletics go at a high level at all our schools, not just Prairie View A&M.
Yeah. Well, there's a cult in northern Florida that's one group of people that they I don't know what they do with their money, but they are cult about their school. Like you can't even say nothing negative about their school, and they come after you with knives, guns, picks, and axes. So, and I'm looking forward to the day where Prairie View had that same kind of spirit about their school and their football and their program. Go ahead, Mr. Campbell. I think you know that school, don't you?
Listen. Coach, you remember when you first came on here? I made a challenge to all them jokers because I know they got big money. Because I told you the story about, and Rocky knows them guys from Texas A&M that play football down there were first-round picks, and I knew all them boys, and the first thing they said, man, the way we had to get job people from Prairie View. So I know they got that money. Yep. There ain't no doubt about it. That money been going down there for a long time. So exactly, make them spend it. But Coach, now listen, I got to do this real quick as a, point of reference because my phone blew up. And shout out to my HBCU nephew, the stat man of the SWAC, and 500 Grambling people and 200 FAMU people. Grambling people want me to remind you, Coach, that they beat Oregon State in 1985. That was the last time. And then FAMU people want to remind me that we beat Miami in 1979. So my phone, okay, I have told Coach, the Grambling folks, Coach, that they was on you. I mean, my phone blew.
I didn't know. I'm glad. Thank you for the information.
So they said HBCU Chat GPT answered that question for you, Coach. Now, Coach,
I got it.
So that's okay. But listen, here's the thing. Think about what the point of it is. It's your turn to be next. That's the thing about it. So then we ain't got to go that far back. So how about that?
That is.
Then you can be part of that.
Tell our team that.
So there you go. So that's my challenge to you now, Coach. Now, Coach, listen, I know before you get out of here, I got to do something. Now, Coach, listen, you went viral over a little song that you did. You sung it. Everybody, the band, because the band played it. You know when you're bad boy, the band played it. Now, Coach, now listen, I got many jobs. I don't know if you saw a show. My father was a DJ back in D.C., Charlie Neal and all that. Now, Coach, I got many jobs. Coach, you didn't know I was a record producer.
I did.
Now, Coach, oh, man, Coach, you didn't know I was a record producer too?
I didn't know that.
Now, Coach, listen, let me tell you what I had to do. Coach, I got a remix for you. Now, Coach, my remix, I called all the rappers down in Houston. And it cost too much money and they wanted to curse. And I said, you can't be cursing. because they wanted to curse and put all them extra words there. So, Coach, I had to. So, Coach, I got a very, very good version of a remix for you that I'm going to share for you. Okay? I'm going to share this for you, Coach. Pull this up right now. Let's see. There you go. So, Coach, listen. I got a remix for you. So, when you go to them alumni, the big money alumni, Coach, this is the remix I got for you, okay?
We selling this CD, man.
Coach, we got this. Now, Coach,
out the trunk. Out the trunk.
Right out the truck, Coach. This is for you, though. Uh-oh. Did y'all lose? Hold on 1 second. Went crazy. Hold on.
Sound like they gonna need Coach at the trail ride. Listen to that music.
See, I got Coach Red. See, I know what I'm doing here. Hold on 1 second. Well, listen.
It's going for $10, baby.
Oh my goodness.
Listen, you better believe it. Give me 1 second, Coach. Pull this back up. Here we go.
Hey, watch out. They're trying to tape it off the show, man. They're trying to tape it.
Listen, I know, Coach. I know. Like I say, boy, hold on 1 second. I know what's pulling to close this out. Let's see if we can get this going now. Oh, smooth, Coach.
Atlanta, the land of the purple and gold. Purple and gold, yeah, it's where my spirit goes. Got to get there, got to get there, yeah.
I got that AI track.
Oh, coming home. Got to get there, got to get there. Atlanta, Atlanta, land of the purple and gold. I said the purple and the gold. Atlanta, 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 the land of the purple and gold.
Now, Coach, I know you can't see my. You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Coach, listen. Coach, do I know how you write right there, Coach?
I'm gonna have to send that to my mama, man. That ain't gonna get no run in our locker room.
Hey, Coach, I like this version right here, Coach. I like this version.
There is a place I want to go. The name of the place ringing in my ear. Atlanta, 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 Atlanta is the land of the purple and gold. Oh, the land of the purple and gold. Gotta get there.
Hey, Coach, with that song right there, Coach, you should see some of the comments under that post about how he ain't going nowhere, but he gonna have to buy a ticket. Coach, they was on you, Coach, after you sung that song, Coach.
Yep.
But Coach, you got to tell us, Coach, what made you so confident in, I think that was in March of 2025. How could you at Prairie View A&M have the audacity to talk about going to Atlanta when you guys had never been?
If you don't see it before you see it, you'll never see it. And if you and that's why people are still in the jobs that they've been in for 25 years and mad at their boss because they never saw themselves doing nothing else. And we tell our players that all the time, man. Like you got to see it before you see it. If I close my eyes and I don't see myself making plays in the Celebration Bowl, then when it's time to do the things to get to the Celebration Bowl and play all the games, I'll get discouraged by that process. And I'll fold out and I'll quit. But if I understand what the end goal is, man, I'm going to work a little bit harder because I understand what's in it for us at the end. The other thing is when you take over a program, they're all your kids. It ain't, oh, I can't wait to get my kids in here. That's a loser's mentality. When you take over the program, it's like dating a woman with a kid. It's a package deal. It is what it is. If I want the mama, I got to take the kids too. And so therefore, when we got here, those guys were looking for something to hold on to. Now, here's what people don't know. That morning that they caught me singing that song, those players that were out there, only 30 of them ended up staying out of the 85 that was out there. But we set a foundation because we saw it. So you know what happens when the other 80 guys came? The 30 that stayed, they went, hey, man, we're going to Atlanta, bro. We're going to Atlanta. We showed them a picture of it. We showed them the vision. We wrote it down. We made it plain. We saw it before we saw it. The Bible tells us what we need to do to get to where we want to go to. We just don't read. And then when we read it, we don't believe it. And I'm just crazy enough, Rob, out of my mind, to believe that we have the things that we have, not to just go to Atlanta, to go back to Atlanta, win in Atlanta. And I stood there in the tunnel and I watched the way the confetti fall. It goes sideways so it can get on everybody. And we're going to get that confetti, Rob. I don't care what it takes. I don't care what we got to go do. That's how we train our players. We might not be the most talented. We might not be the best athletes. We might not have the most all-conference preseason. But, man, we're going to win because that's just what winners do. And we're going to go there and get that confetti. I'm about to buy that. I got this lamp, right? Get this lamp. And it's a confetti lamp. You can get it at Michael's. So everybody that want one, get you one from Michael's. And you take the top off and you put the confetti in the lamp. I'm going to get a lamp with no confetti. because December 12th at 5 p.m. Eastern, I'm gonna have some confetti.
You gonna fill it up, huh, Coach?
Yeah, that's just what we do here. And if people don't believe in themselves, that's a them problem. And you get mad at me because I believe in my folks. Come on, man, get out of here. That's not even, boy, shut up. That's what my grandma used to say. Boy, shut up.
Hey, Coach. Now listen. Now I'm telling you, my R&B version is gonna make you a lot of money.
That's for my mama, Mr. Campbell.
But that's who got. But Coach, who got the money though?
Hey, my mama and my aunt would groove to that all night long.
Coach, I'm trying to tell you,
hey, Mr. Campbell.
Williams, Prairie. I'm trying to tell you that crew. That by
I can't take that to my locker room.
No, but
them boys will run me out of there.
Coach, you gotta give him a little bit of something.
Hey, Coach,
I'm up against little baby and them. I can't take nobody. I can't take that up in there.
Well, Coach, I couldn't play, like I said, I couldn't play the explicit version. And, they would have struck us. So, I want to make sure when after the show is over, people get to watch it. But I'm just gonna tell you, Coach, I'm gonna send you that version. And then when you go to big money folks, you know what I'm saying, of our age and older, that's what you got there, Coach.
I'm gonna put it on Facebook. That's what my mama is.
Hey, Coach Cole, let me ask you this here, Coach. You saw this guy back in the early 2000s, maybe 2007, 2008, Coach. Did you see this? Did you see this, Coach?
I am not saying that because he's on this show, man. This guy was something special. He was something special, Coach. I mean, he went from coming in with Hamburg on his chest to being my kind of like my right-hand guy. I mean, look, it be mean sometimes I say, what you think, Jack? He the youngest in the office. And then he started messing with that damn Facebook stuff. I'm like, man, what you doing? Man, they got a defensive tackle out of such and such, and he got a twin brother, but his ankle got broke. I said, well, who is that? Name, what's his name, Coach?
Marquise Jackson.
Marquise Jackson. And his brother, I'm like,
Malik Jackson. Yeah.
He said, well, Coach, man, we need him. I said, well, what we need to do to close the door? He would get him, and I would close the door. We can't tell you how I closed the door, but we would close the door. Let's get that straight. And, man, he just was a lightning bolt, and it didn't surprise me that he wasn't going to come in and win the championship because we also said that with us. I mean, we had the number one defense in the country and the number one turnover offense in the country. Shit, we were going to go in the game. We're going to turn the ball over 4 times. You know what I'm saying? And that's where, I thought maybe he remembered when I was at the Grambling game and I was starting a guy named Arvell Nelson. Yeah. He threw 1 pick for a touchdown. He threw another pick. We drove all the way down to the 3-yard line and we called a play called power pass. And I knew he had 3 options. He could hit the receiver, the tight end, or the back in the flat, or he could run it in. He took neither, and he tried to throw a ball and threw it straight to the street. We went from the 3-yard line, chasing their strong safety down and tackling him at the 2. And the fans and everybody was like, get his ass out of there. And we decided to stay with him, man. And he played an excellent second half, And
hey, Coach Cole, you guys have been in some adversity in the foxhole together. Y'all told this story when y'all were, after the Celebration Bowl. That was a great day to sit down and listen to you guys tell those stories. But you said, I didn't know when y'all won the championship, y'all went into the game with y'all starting quarterback suspended.
Yeah.
So the guy who had played all year, y'all didn't have it. He wasn't available.
He ended up being player of the game, and he hadn't took but probably 10 snaps all year. Yeah. But here's the deal, and I'll tell you this, Rock. People talk about having quarterbacks in the room, right? We had Arvell Nelson. We had Dantavius Jackson, who was a quarterback from Troy. Yeah. And then we had the kid Rico
Smalls.
Yeah, Rico Smalls, who transferred from Virginia. So Dantavius transferred from Troy. Rico transferred from Virginia. Arvell was an Iowa transfer. So we had 3 Division I, 2 Power 5 quarterbacks in that room. We were trying to hold on and redshirt Dantavius Jackson. So we wasn't going to play him. That's why we played with Rico Smalls. And so, man, people don't know that. But now think about it. We had an 18-year-old in there.
Whew.
He wouldn't have felt so good. And that's just that happened in 2010, man. But we had a really good offensive line. Me and Manny Martinez, coach, I don't know if you know this. We go before the game. We writing down, we predicting the score, right? Because we had already beat Alabama State that year in the regular season, 21-7. So we were playing really well on defense. I told Manny, I said, man, what you think the score gonna be? He said, oh man, I don't know. I said, well, I think we're gonna hit them 24-17, because they're gonna be close, right?
Yeah.
He said, oh, Jack, we're gonna give up one of them before y'all even get a chance. He said, we're gonna give them 6 points before y'all even get a chance to get out there. It's just what we do. And man, sure enough, man, it was a fight, but
11-6. 11-6.
Yeah, I bring that up for this reason, Coach. It seems like part of, Coach Cole's DNA is not to look at what you can't do. It's always because you had a built-in excuse. When you go into that game, Coach, without your starting quarterback, you got a built-in excuse and why you can't do it. But you guys found a way to overcome that situation. And even in this situation, Coach and Coach Cole, you guys seem to have that synergy about there's no excuses when it comes to winning. It's only winning.
Yeah, we made that decision as a staff early in the middle of the season was let's let our defense win games. And let's take the game out of our quarterback's hand and give the ball to our best athletes. And against Jackson State, I mean, we rushed for 375 that game and turned the ball over 4 times and they end up winning. So
and they had Casey Terre Haute, the white type.
Yeah. So
and he was a baller.
Ain't no question. Baller. Yeah, he was transferred out of there too. He was transferred.
Grand Rapids Community College, because I couldn't get him to come.
We had KJ Black.
Yeah, but somebody didn't get the ticket on our staff. Don't get me started on that. I remember that. Like I told KJ that too.
Yeah, we had him. His dad, and when we couldn't get that ticket straight, his dad said, Coach, come on, man. How can I have my son come there and y'all can't even get the ticket straight? And that's how he ended up in Prairie View. Because if we would have got him in Texas Southern, we'd have closed the deal. If we can get you at Texas Southern in that airport, we're going to close the deal.
It's just like here at Prairie View. If I get you to this hill, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
And so many coaches spend so much time trying to convince guys not to come to this hill. Because they know what it is. And so I'll tell you this too, Rock. You mentioned that championship game. Not only were we down our quarterback, but there was a lot of lingering things going on too, right? It's just an eerie feeling in the area. And we had to work through that. We had to work with a lot of stuff going on, man. But in our players and our coaches, like Coach said, man, we made a decision that nobody mattered but the folks in this room and the folks that we took on the bus with us. Coach let us bring our families on the bus.
Yeah. And
so, man, if you wasn't on that bus with us, you didn't matter. Because there were some people with the same logo that didn't want us to win. And then it's like that at places sometimes. Like, it just is what it is, man. Like, there's some people, they want you to win, but, man, they'll be okay if you don't win. Because they think you might start thinking you're more than what you are, right? And so you gotta manage that stuff. And man, that team did a really good job of managing those things. And everybody did their job that day. 11-6, that's rough on the side of the ring now. That's a rough score. People thought we were playing baseball, Coach. They thought Coach put it on the ring. I said, Coach, you sure you want to do that? He said, no, man, we put this on the side of the ring.
And one thing about,
not the hobo offense.
Robo. We named it the Robo.
That's another thing that quarterback changed our damn signals to gumbo and chicken, but that's a whole nother story. Man, I'm watching film a week after the game, and I got guys running in each other. I'm like, man, what is going on? Well, he changed the directions of the plays. But when you talk about coaches and commitment and us being together as a group, and Coach talks about it a lot. I've been up at the staff. I see the cohesiveness. It's important because Coach Jack was a head coach. Darrell Williams was a head coach. Darrell Colbert was a head coach. Kevin Ramsey as a head coach. All on that staff. These guys left and took over head coaching jobs. So it was important, man, that we stuck together and all of us somehow in some way took that formula with them when they went to other places. So that lets you know when you got a good staff on you. I mean, shit, we fought like family on that staff as well. So I know I've seen coaches' staff, man. It's just a cohesiveness unit, and I know they're gonna be successful. But I'm not gonna let them put. Let me say it again, Coach. I'm blocking. No, if he don't win the championship, it's a bust. I'm blocking. I want to get on them other coaches in the conference. I know it's gonna be tough. I know you're gonna be pushing the team where it need to be. I know your expectations is out the roof, but there's some other schools that guys have been in place in that conference. You know, they ran T. Graves out of here and putting all that pressure on him at Southern, and he had a great year. And me and Rocky, we that wasn't right. That wasn't right, man. And that kind of hurt his career. And I think he should have got another shot at it. But that's how it is. That's part of this game called college football.
It seemed like Coach Jack wants the pressure on his back. Because every time he don't mind talking his talk and saying what's on his mind. And I think he used to the bullseye being on him. He's taking the mantle as the toast of the SWAC, the coaches with the mostest. He's I mean, Coach, you're the guy that everybody's talking about. We had a coach about 3 or 4 years ago that everybody was talking about. Now you're the guy that everybody's talking about, Coach. And it's like I say, this interview has been a pleasure, man. And if anything you like to say before we get you out of here, Coach.
No, man, I must really like y'all, man. I spent my last night with y'all. I'm normally at the cigar lounge right about now. Cigar number 2 in the off season. My off season the end of the day. But like I said, man, when Coach calls, man, it ain't no doubt that I'm gonna show up because of what he's done for me. And then I just enjoy the fact that you guys do the job that you do, and you have the information and the people. You got the reach to get people that are reputable on your show, and so I appreciate that, man. It has really been this back porch patio gets a lot of HBCU coaches corner, and that's how when I met Mr. Campbell in person, I felt honored. I said, man, this is Mr. Campbell. This is Mr. Campbell right here. But no, man, I look forward to seeing y'all at our games. And certainly, man, if there's anything we can do for you on our end, you know we ain't hard to find either, man. So let us know. But we're gonna get ready to go fight tomorrow, man. We're gonna start the fight, and we look to finish it December 12th.
Hey, Coach. Well, I tell you this, I'll be here later this week, and I'll be in Stephenville at the end of this month. End of next month for sure.
Come on, they only gave us a little small corner in the end zone. They ain't give us much, so we need everybody we can get to be loud. It's gonna be a great game, man. It is in my opinion, it's the biggest game that we've played in the recent history of our program because of how good they are, and really, you don't get 2 previous season conference champions to start the season. That's what the MEAC SWAC Challenge used to be, right? You don't get that a lot anymore, and so we're excited. We're playing for a cup. Anytime we play for a trophy, we certainly want to take a picture with the trophy at the end, and so we looking forward to it. But holler and scream, Rock. We're gonna need you.
Hey, Coach, I'll be there.
Hey.
I'll be decked out, and on the 12th, which is 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
I'll be behind them in the enemy lines with you, decked out again. So I can't wait. This is gonna be an amazing year, and like as a football fan, Coach, I appreciate you taking on the challenge.
No.
You know, regardless of the outcome, I appreciate you taking on the challenge because I think, like I say, we hadn't had a game like this in the SWAC since Dion played Campbell in his second year. I don't know if you remember that, but Deion played Campbell in his second year. Campbell coming off a pretty good season. This is that kind of litmus test, in my opinion. I think it's a bigger litmus test because Charlton is a much better team than Campbell was.
Yeah.
And what do they call it? Jack, what do they call that game? The Governor's game or the
Chancellor's Cup?
The Chancellor's Cup.
The Chancellor's Cup. We recruit the same kids. And so this is a big deal and they got a lot, man. Tarleton State puts a lot into their program. Yeah. And they're not shy about telling everybody that they do that. They're very well supported, very well coached. So it's going to be a really good challenge for us. Yeah. But regardless of what they do, it still is and always will be about us. And we got to get our guys ready to play. I
went down there to see them against Mississippi Valley State. Their stadium is but I'm pretty sure they're going to improve it as they go. Because they are
sold out from what
no, it's not. Hey, coach, it's not anymore. I was there last year. It's not
Yeah. Okay. Now they've done a good job, coach. They really are a Conference USA type school. And they're trying.
They cosplaying. They cosplaying, coach.
Coach, they when they were Division II, Coach Cole, they had Thundercloud and all that stuff. And we was on Huddle and all that, right? Like they have always invested on a level. Right. To where they should be good, which is why it's good for us to be able to see it and to be able to go in and then hopefully our people take us another notch up as well. Yeah. So.
All right, Coach. Appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. As usual, we'll be talking. We'll be coming to visit, man. And hey, look here. You got it. You got it, Coach.
We just trying to hold on to it, Coach.
Yeah,
I appreciate y'all, man.
In the rope, tie a knot, and hold on tight.
That's right.
Nobody bad like you.
Go Panthers.
All right, Coach. Hey, man, that's another great interview by the reigning SWAC Championship coach, Tremaine Jackson, man.
Well, I gotta get a trophy to the bishop, man. He don't went out and got the goddamn music playing, man. And
he the man, ain't he? He the man.
He went back into his damn DJ box, babe, and pulled what I can have.
You know what, Coach? We hear that song so much, and it was just funny to me. I say, you know what, Coach need to have a version every year, some kind of way. So just to mess with Coach, man, and just to, here's the thing, what I like, and I think no matter if you don't like, if you do like, if you like Prairie View, you don't like Prairie View, he represents the best of us. That's what you want a football coach at an HBCU to be.
Right.
Fearless.
Right.
Representing your school.
Right.
Understands the pride and the passion, but also know that we can't be stuck in the past. We got to be forward thinking. And that's the thing about what I like about Coach, because, again, he understands the tradition and the history of Prairie View. But like he said, this is 2026.
But see,
and this is a new Prairie View. So I'm super excited, man. And listen, man, I've said this, the Prairie View people know I said this. This is before Coach got there. I said the sleeping giant, and Rocky, you notice I said this.
Many times you said it.
They ever get it right, this is going to be the best thing ever for the conference, because now you're talking about Texas all the way to Florida with nothing but athletes. And it works both ways. They get athletes, but then athletes want to go to the other school to play against the school. That SEC does it all the time. So when you get those bell cows on the ends of this conference, rocking and rolling with the level of talent in Texas, with all the thing that Prairie View offers, and that's the thing about it, which my biggest thing is, me, I can't stand when these kids go to some directional state, because that degree, if you got to go there, you got to go there. But if you match that degree up against Prairie View or FAMU or Jackson State or Southern or Grambling or all those things, it's not even close. It's not even close. So I'm just excited that Prairie View, like I say again, hey man, talk your talk, man. Do your shows, talk your talk, defend your coach, and the people that don't know they talking about, get on their ass. Because trust me, the Rattlers gonna do it, and I ain't got no man. Jack State people gonna do it. So there's nothing wrong with Prairie View people to do it.
Yeah. Well, this kind of remind me of when I first ever got into black college football. When you hear Eddie Robinson talk about Grambling and how good they could be, and the things and Marino Cassim and W.C. Gordon and Coach Washington and on, man, that you had great coaches that sold their program. They talk because they love their program, because that's the fabric what they came from. And a lot of times guys are taking these HBCU jobs and don't understand the history and don't want to sell it, don't want to stand up on top of a rock and say, hey, man, I love this job. It's giving me an opportunity. And those kind of guys, Jack has that. And he's proud where he is and where he's at in his career. And those are the kind of guys that I see that we need in these programs, man, that have taking these opportunities of being a head coach and really loving where they are, just not taking a job and making money. You know what I'm saying? Prairie View is ain't even probably paying him an inkling of what he's worth and what he has brought to that university in the last 2 years.
Hey, Coach, I think this is a great time for us to talk about something that's very exciting that's happening to you in your hometown. Can you take a moment to kind of tell us about what's happening, man? Because I think it's a big deal for me being your friend. I know how important it is to you to be recognized by your community where you came from. Can you tell us what's going on, Coach?
Last year, one of my old classmates, they always have kept up with me in my career from being a student to a coach and, going on to be a head coach. And they wanted to ask me would I be interested in being nominated, for the Hall of Fame at my old high school. I was pretty good. My brother was better. My brother LC was better. And it's a tribute because all my life I've always had to try to prove myself for myself, being the youngest of 9 boys, and every plateau I would reach, your friends and growing up when you're young, man, that's your brother, man. That you only got that because you little cold, you know what I'm saying? And it was hard. I mean, and that's kind of where I got my mentality from, of not always trying to prove something, but always trying to be the best, trying to reach the best. And my brothers done put the bar high for me. And they took care of me. You know what I mean? What I mean by that, they did things in my life that I did. I didn't drink, I didn't smoke as coming up because my brothers was my idol. You know what I mean? My brothers were my mentor. My brother LC made All-State in basketball, football. He was a hell of a player. He was one of the top 20 players in the country. Bo Schimbacher came to my house. Woody Hayes, and these was at Michigan, Ohio State, Nebraska, Miami. They all came into my house. So for me to be a young kid and used to ride, he had me on his bike riding in football practice. And I had went to Dayton Dunbar High School. The first code that went to Dunbar was in 1964. And I graduated in 1981. So at 2 or 3 years old, man, I'm at Dunbar High School. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all my brothers are coming through. We all stair-stepped. So all of us, they had a code in in Dunbar from 64 to 81 to my nephews that went. But anyway, coming behind them, I had to play. We always had 2 or 3 of us on the football team, the basketball team. You know what I'm saying? So I'm coming behind all this. So as I'm coming behind this as a freshman, guys, I played 1 freshman game, threw 5 touchdowns, and they moved me up to JV. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man, that's because your brother them. That's because your brother them. And I just couldn't accept it, man. At one time, I was coming through in middle school. I won pass, shooting, dribble, round the world tournament. It wasn't nothing that I didn't achieve. I got Principal's Award. I went on to high school, got President's Award. Principal Award. I went on to college and got President's Award, Best Athlete. So, but it was all because of my brothers, man. It was just the drive that they put in me. Like my brother Norris, and you guys know Norris Cole Jr., who went on to the pros. Well, I was the guinea pig. My brother Norris would make me read books about playing quarterback and coaching and being what it is to be a quarterback. So it was kind of like I was a machine almost, you know what I'm saying? And I attribute to my brother Abu, he he went and joined the Muslim, and he was just telling. It just showed me right there he needed that because he was the one that was kind of mixed up in trying to find his way as a young man. Had a child early, but once he made his decision that he was going to be a Muslim, he stuck with it. What that told me: make your decision and stick with it. You know what I mean? You know, my brother Durrell. You know, he's probably watching the show now. Is my best friend and been taking me around. He used to take me around, Campbell, to all the events. You know what I mean? The round the world tournament. He was my biggest cheerleader. You know what I'm saying? My brother Stevie, right above me, he just got a court named after him, Stevie Cole. So finally, man, I've been inducted and will be inducted into my high school's Hall of Fame. And I would be the first Cole. For one time in my career, I'll be the first that I beat all my brothers to being inducted into the Wall of Fame, September the 12th. So I had to fly back home. So I didn't mean to be long about it, man, but I want people to know that man, I had it was like just follow the yellow brick road, man. And my kids and my nieces and nephews say, "Oh man, you had it easy. All you did was listen to your brothers." And I'm like, "Hello." yeah. And I would do exactly what they told me not. You know, I didn't drink, I didn't smoke, I didn't get caught up in no, you know, I know it, none of that, man. And you know, most of all, I knew when we were going on field trips, I didn't need to run to the car because I was going to sit on my mother's lap or somewhere in the back. I wasn't going to get no window seat. So, I mean, you know, I bought into being the little brother, man. I've cleaned more cleats, all that kind of stuff, man. I learned when I was coming through, I learned how to wash uniforms. I know how to clean cleats, put cleats on, football pants. I was an equipment manager, probably 7, 8, 9 years old. You know, I would travel with the team. They would put a chair in the middle of the bus. You know, so I've been around this game a long time. So a lot of my success was because they made sure that I was moving in the right direction. And I want to thank them tonight that I had 8 of the most fantastic brothers in the world. My oldest brother, who had passed away 2 years ago, he actually was my first basketball coach as well. And just a little tidbit about him. I know I got to get off here. He wanted me to dribble the ball with both hands so well, and I'm right-handed. He would tie my right hand up, and I would dribble left hand. So my game was a left-handed player, but I shot right-handed. And my backyard was nothing but dirt. Man, if I would show you pictures of our backyard and it was dirt. It's just a whole bunch of stories. But thank you, man, for bringing that to fruition. Thanks to people that's watching the show. And I want to shout out to my class of 1981 at Dayton Dunbar High School. I want to thank you guys for voting me in to the Wall of Fame. Appreciate it. And I always y'all too.
That's also, Coach. It's in my opinion, just by what I know, Coach, as a coach, it's well deserved. Just so people know, you were the SIAC Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
You were the SWAC Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
You won a championship, SWAC Championship at Texas Southern, the first coach to do it in 40 some odd years. Anyway, Coach, you got a ton of accolades, and that's just as a head coach. We don't even want to talk about what you were able to do as offensive coordinator at Tennessee State and Alabama State in that regard. So, Coach, you got all the accolades. You certainly deserve it. And now that you're going into the Hall of Fame, it's your job to get LC in there because I know he certainly deserves it as well.
Oh man, Coach, he's the real deal, Coach. If he was coming out in these times, shit, Coach, we wouldn't even know each other because we'd be millionaires. Hey, Campbell, Coach, he got as a defensive player, he got him about $5 million, Coach. He got
Coach,
5 years now.
you know what's crazy? Let me tell you something that you said that. I was talking to somebody. I went to Nashville a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking about Steve McNair and somebody that was up there, and they said, could you imagine after Steve's junior year what he would have gotten in the transfer portal? Mind you, he was already the third pick in the draft from Alcorn already, so he was already a first rounder guarantee. But the amount of money that he would have made, I said, man, I couldn't even imagine.
It'd be crazy.
It would have been crazy.
Coach Willie Totten and Jerry Rice
would have been, and I hate to say it, but thank God those times were those times, because we got to keep them and we got to see the greatness. But it's just amazing that that level of talent, like a Steve McNair and those guys, and like you said, your brother coming up, what they would have gotten, and just it would have been unbelievable.
And Coach, and you don't even want to go even back farther than that, man. With Joe Gillum and all them cats, man. You talking about, man? Look, we'd be much more richer than we are now.
Hey, Coach. Odds are, we already got Coach Dishman scheduled for tomorrow.
Yes,
we can announce, even though the flyer isn't up, we got Coach Shea for Wednesday. And we got a plethora of other coaches coming on this program. And I'm going to be honest with you. Odds are we're not going to get the Southern's head coach on this show. I'm just going to be perfectly honest with you. That's going to be probably 3 years now that we hadn't got the Southern head coach on the show. And I want to apologize to our Southern fans that our platform isn't quite big enough to for the Southern coaches to come on. But I'll say this. We went and talked to Miss Rudolph down in Bastrop, Louisiana. And until Coach Falk come on this show, ain't nothing good gonna happen to y'all. Ain't nothing good gonna come of y'all until Coach Falk come on this show.
Let me see if I can work my magic, Coach. Let me just see where I can work on my magic. I know some folk that can get to him, so.
Okay. All right, Coach.
You started making me think about that. I still got my Southern connections. Guys. Pete Richardson coached me in high school, so and I could beeline to him as well. So yeah, we do need to get coached, and I'm pushing for my man over at Delaware State, Deshaun Jackson, because my homeboy works on that staff. So we working, Coach, working behind the scenes, baby.
Yeah, like I said, I love to get Coach Falk on the show. Again, the first year we were able to interview Terrence Graves, he went 71 in the SWAC. The next year, he refused to come on the show, and we all know how that turned out. What we're trying to do is keep Coach Falk from having his first year to be like Coach Graves' second year. We don't want that for Southern. Right. We don't want that for Southern. I want Southern to have a good year. I want Coach Falk to have a great inaugural season as a head coach. But at the end of the day, just think about this, Coach. I didn't even think about this till the other day. This is Coach's Corner, Coach.
Is this what I right here, Coach? All right, folks. They try to tell you. They try to let you know. Now, hey, I know you ain't Rocky Arsenal. Come on now. I'm just saying.
Hey, now we ain't been wrong.
Hey, Coach.
And we ain't been wrong about the ones that's been leaving.
Hey, Coach, let's think about this. We interviewed Coach Graves before he got the Southern job. We interviewed Coach Quinn before he got the FAMU job. We interviewed Coach Shade before he got the Alabama A&M job. We interviewed Coach Joseph before he got the Grambling job. Coach, come on now. This is, let's talk. Let's be honest, Coach. We've been blessing programs. We've been blessing programs for 2.5 years now, Coach. It's time for some of those coaches who want to be successful to pay homage to HBCU Coach's Corner and make an appearance. You got to understand, Coach Vic ain't been on this show either. And you see how things are turning out for Coach Vic.
And Ted White will be on Sunday.
Oh yeah, and
Howard's head coach.
The Howard.
Chennis Berry, unfortunately, his mom is sick, so he told me he'll catch up with us later. And Trey will come on the week before they play Texas Southern. So they've all committed.
Yeah.
North Carolina Central. I'm sorry. Ted White is Howard's head coach. Trey Oliver is North Carolina Central's head coach. Chennis Berry is the Black College National Championship South Carolina State's head coach. So, we got the big guys that's, committed. It's just, we got to get them back, not necessarily back to back.
Just think about it. We had Van Malone on shortly after he was hired at Hampton. He may end up winning the CAA. You know what I mean? That's just how much it's important to come on this program. Remember, so we got a comment about Travis Gray got fired when he don't answer the call. Might be, again, this is reality. We've never Coach. This is something Coach called me today and said. He said it's our fault that Arkansas Pine Bluff is in the situation they in because we hadn't got Coach Hampton on the show. If we get Coach Hampton on, his fate will probably change. Ain't that what you said, Coach? You took responsibility for what's going on in Arkansas Pine Bluff.
Yeah.
Because you said you hadn't had an opportunity to bring Coach Hampton on.
Right.
And
I need to get him. I need to get him on, Coach. We need to get him on. But we also got Allen University's coach Cedric Pearl in the lineup. We got Aaron James Tuskegee in the lineup. We got Terry Sims, University of Terry Sims is at Clark University. So we got some things lined up in the pipe down. So we'll bring you guys coaches and all that kind of stuff, and continue to talk about HBCU football.
And Coach, this is the last thing I want to mention. I'm your guy, Coach, and you've called all the successful coaches out when they were hired. You called Chennis Berry out. You called the only one that ain't cashed in yet.
I was mad. I was mad because my alma mater didn't go after Chennis hard enough. I thought we should have.
You said Chennis would be a winner.
Yes.
You said Tremaine would be a winner.
Yes.
Now the only one that's kind of hadn't came to fruition yet is you said Sam Shea would be a winner, and you're a believer in Mr. Campbell's favorite coach, Sean Gibbs, and he hadn't quite came through either. Right. But your backup coach came up, got hired at FAMU, and you stamped Coach Quinn as a winner as well. So that's yet to be seen. So, Coach, you got a pretty good track record so far as being able to pick winners. You got one SWAC championship and 2 MEAC championships in the past 3 years. So you're doing a great job as far as picking winners, Coach.
Well, good, man. Maybe somebody give me a job hiring coaches. Maybe, maybe Mr. Campbell might go back in his hats and put on his agent hat, and we just put together a man. Quit paying those guys $25,000 for HBCU coach. You got 3 guys right here. Go find you the best coach that you need in the situation you are.
I also, Coach, you did say you were going to get Terry Sims as well from Clark, Atlanta.
Yeah. I got his information, and as we go through our routine and our schedule, man, and maybe Coach Campbell go back to the bishop will go back to the studio and come up with some other music.
Hey, well, special times, call for special hits, Coach, and stuff like that. So, actually, I'm gonna tell you, I might need to do one for, because here's the thing. Now, see, let me tell you something. One of my boys from Texas Southern. Oh, y'all doing all that for Jack, but what you gonna do for our coach? I said, now there you go. You already start. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey man, we gonna treat Coach Disman right over in this show. This is Coach alma mater. We got Texas Southern covered.
Man, and let me say this too, Coach. I had some folks, man, they said we need to let some folks call in too. So I guess we need to make sure we got that operation working
Yeah. Anytime you just say the word, coach, and it's a done deal.
Yeah.
Like I say, these interviews are rare for us, and we try to give the coach time to get everything out they want to say. They don't, and they're gonna be really busy coming up here in the next month. But coach is gonna get them to come and interview. So yeah, we'll get the phone lines open for any coach that's willing to take phone calls. But y'all be nice to these coaches now. These SWAC fans can be real mean sometimes. So be nice. Hey, what I want to do is, before we get out of here, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to HBCU Coaches Corner. It means a lot to us. You could be doing anything in the world, but you chose to be here with us. If you haven't already, take this opportunity to like and subscribe to the channel. If you're so inclined, please join. We will have some members-only content coming up during the season. What I'm trying to put together is a lot of people like that football talk, those X's and O's, those diagrams, talking some real football about some key plays that happened in the SWAC and during the year. And so Coach really enjoys that. And so we'll do some members-only schematics for you guys. It's only $199, and it allows us to travel and be places and create content for this channel. So if you're so inclined, please become a member. And you always can donate a super chat. Those are welcome. And I want to send a shout out to the guys who sent gifts. I know one guy who sent gifts is my man, SWAC fan. He always shows us love. And I forget the other gentleman. I can't remember. But we got a few stars were sent. I want to appreciate you guys as well. Hey, I'm done, Mr. Campbell. I'll let you guys go ahead and close it.
Well, let me just say this, Coach. Once again, we got another season coming up. Super excited, man. But I will say this once again. The way to support your schools, Coach, we just had the strike tour for FAMU going all around the country, just came through Atlanta. And one thing about it, Coach, you can understand this. Recruits are not coming because of the name on the jersey anymore. Recruits are coming because you give them a little something and the name on the jersey. So go out there, support your team's NIL, support your boosters, sign up, be a booster. I mean, most booster clubs are only $100. Go be a booster, and then you can really talk. So don't be on these YouTube shows, talk about, I support my team, and you're not a booster, you don't give any money, and all you're doing is going back and forth with other people from other schools. Because we know who you are. We know that you ain't giving no money. So be somebody that's financial and support your school. And stop getting on YouTube and stuff like that, talking about other people's school, and you ain't even gave your school a dime. So that's my challenge to you, Coach. I'm super excited. I can't wait to see who we got coming on. And you know what? I talked to Quinn Gray. Hey, man, Coach, like I said, he's ready to come on, and we're ready to rock it. So, Coach, I'll let you have it.
What's my man, Bishop, that they just let go of ESPN?
Oh, Ryan Clark.
Ryan Clark, man. And I just want to tell, shows like ours, man, it's by us and it's about us. And it's not against anybody else, but it takes, shows like what we're doing to sell us, to sell where we are. We know, if you know anything about, the things about us, is everybody want to be about us. Other races want to be us. Every race want to be built like us and physical like us. But they don't want to give up those other avenues to be able to go out and speak and talk about being positive about who we are. So this show, one thing, if you didn't know, I started this because I felt that Black coaches in the SWAC, MEAC, SIAC, AIC wasn't getting their just due. So this gives us an opportunity to go out and get these guys and come out and talk about their philosophy, talk about their program, talk about their school. So I want to thank you guys for continuing to back us. We need more backing. We need more positive things. We're not making any money doing this. We're just giving you content, but we would like to get out and go some places. So continue to follow us, continue to tell people about what we're doing on this channel, man. And as you can see, like I said, not only just Ryan Clark has been let go, there's been some other journalists and stuff, man. So that looks like us and talk like us. So let's make sure that we continue, like he was saying, click the likes, You want to become a member, hit that as well. Again, thank you very much. And like I said, I always say every time, if you feel yourself at the end of the rope, tie a knot and hold on tight, because ain't nobody bad like you.